Hi guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. Well, as you can hear from the background, we are having our hurricane winds today. It was really bad this morning. The tiny house was shuddering. Anyway, I am going to do something today that I've been meaning to do and wanting to try for a very long time, and I just thought you guys might want to see how it's done too. Super easy, and just another one of those healthy products that's nice to have in the house. So let's get started and I'll show you what I'm doing. I am going to make cranberry juice. Now, I don't drink a lot of cranberry juice, but that's only because I won't buy it. You know, it's another product. Fruit juices especially have so much sugar in them and so many other ingredients that you can't pronounce. So I thought I would just try getting some cranberries. Yes, it has sugar in it, but I'm going to put it in quart jars and see how this works out. Now, I am using the wood stove to can today because I already had it going. It's such a cold, old, blustery day, so I've got my lids in there sterilizing. This pot, I broke the lid many years ago, and this lid for that pot there fits this pan, or this pot, perfectly. So I'm heating my water to add to the jars after I add the cranberries. I've got my big canner, the one that does the quart jars. I think I've got too much water in there maybe, but I've got the Clasica Lacunza wood stove loaded right up and the fire's going good. It's really hot, and I've got my jars sterilizing in the oven. Now, the one lady I saw, she put her jars in there and then took them out two at a time. I don't want to be going back and forth and dripping all over the floor and everything, so I am heating them up in the oven like I normally do. And I was going to do this on the off-grid range, but this was already going. So again, it's one of those things where you're not even turning the stove on. Might as well do it on the wood stove. I already have it going anyway, and then it's not costing us anything in propane. Well, I just had to run over to the neighbors for a few minutes. I can hear the water. It is a full rolling boil already. My lids are heated. My jars are hot. I'm going to get them out of the oven, and I've got my cranberries ready and my boiling water to add to the jars. So I'm just going to get the jars out and get this done. I am just quickly going to have something to eat, and then I'm going to get those other 3 or 4 jars ready to go in the canner, and that will give me a dozen jars, hopefully. Okay, now I am putting, well, it says 1 3/4 cup, so I'm going to estimate here, and I'm not filling it quite up. This is a 2-cup measuring cup. Some of these berries are a little squishy looking. I'll just keep them out for my chickens. Oh, I gotta get my funnel sterilizing in the boiling water. Okay, I am down to 8 jars. Same thing again. Now I don't know if I want to do this or not. I don't want to break any more jars. I've never broken jars that way ever before, and now that's twice now when I'm doing something. It's when I heat the jars in the oven. So the oven was at about 350. Of course, the wood stove isn't as easy to control, but the off-grid range only goes down to about 300, so that's the minimum on these stoves. It's not like a normal stove, so just make sure I'm always burning myself. Yeah, a little bit of water from the funnel hit the bottom of the jar and cracked it. So, see what I'm doing here. So now I've got 8 jars, and if I remember correctly, that canner holds 7, so that's going to make me cranky. Maybe I should have just got 7 jars out and done 7 jars. I might just do that. I honestly can't remember if it takes 7 or 9 jars. I could just put extra cranberries in and do 7 jars. It'll make me cranky if I have to wait for one more jar. So I'm putting just under 2 cups of berries in each jar. I guess I'll risk it. 2, 4, 6, 8. Now I did the math again and thought I had the right amount for 9 jars. So this clearly is going to be more than 9 jars. I've got lots left there. So maybe what I'll do is just do the 7 jars today so that I know I can fit them in there, and I'll do the rest of these tomorrow. I don't have any more quart jars washed and ready. So now I am going to, should I try 8? Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to add 1/3 cup of sugar to each jar. I mean, it just doesn't get any easier than this. And like I say, that's something I never buy is fruit juices. Yes, you can buy organic ones and everything now, but they're so expensive. Everything's so expensive. I mean, it's kind of silly even saying that. But that's something I just never buy, especially orange juice. It's turning out to be one of the most unhealthy products. You know, they want you to think you need to start your day with a glass of orange juice. And of course, cranberry juice is well known to have some really good health benefits. So, and I do like cranberry juice. Like I said, I just never buy it. You know, a lot of the time when you think you're buying cranberry juice and it's one of these cranberry blends and there's really not much cranberry juice in it. So, okay, got that all in the jars now. Should we try and put the hot water in? I just don't know. I'll use my big 2-cup stainless steel ladle. Maybe I'll put a tiny bit in first. No, I'm scared of breaking more jars. I mean, usually hot, 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 everything's hot, you're okay. But now these berries will float, and they will float for a while. I am seeing some people, they will put, take the juice, I think you're supposed to leave it 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. And then what they'll do is take the berries out and use them for something else. Now we're going to leave a 1-inch head space as well. So keep that in mind. I'll check the measurement. Because the berries are floating, they're kind of up high. So I will check. The water's bubbling. I've got to debubble this stuff too after I get the water in here. I'm not very good at measuring how much water I need to do this, so I just heated up a big pot of it. These jars are bigger than what I'm used to using. So I heard a pop. I hope that wasn't my jar and it was a cranberry popping. This is a little tricky getting underneath the cabinet with this big ladle. But everybody fingers crossed the canner holds 8 jars and not 7. I think it holds 9, but I can never remember. You know, there's not too many things you can buy at the store these days that literally have 2 ingredients. Well, 3 if you count the water. Cranberries and sugar. I don't know what all that other crap is that's in there. You know what I mean. It's stuff you can't even pronounce. So this to me is another good thing to have. on the shelf. Of course, I joke about working on my supply chain. Yeah, I think that's the cranberries that are popping. Oops! I sure hope so. I don't need to pour boiling water on myself either, really. Oh, I wasn't planning on having to do cranberries again tomorrow. We'll see how long this takes. With the water already boiling, I usually find myself having to wait quite a while for that big canner to boil, but the wood stove was going so good, and I might just get another batch in the canner tonight. And that way, if that 8th jar won't fit in, I'll just get the rest done tonight. I really don't want to spend another day doing this. I've got so many other things I want to get canned. So many other things I need to do. Still going to try and splash boiling water on myself. Thing I find with this ladle, it's my hands. I have so much trouble with my hands, especially my right hand, and this ladle is so heavy. That actually ended up working out pretty well for the water. It was a good guess. I really didn't think it would take that much, so I'm glad I did a bigger pot. Really don't like using this big ladle. It hurts my hand, the weight of it. Like so many people, I'm getting arthritis in my hands, everywhere else. Okay, these are almost all full. Might end up having to take a little bit of water out of these. I hope not. Let's get them debubbled. I'm just going to use the wooden handle. I cannot find my debubbler. It's probably in the boxes that I still haven't unpacked. Just get these rims wiped. I put those lids back in the boiling water. There's not much mess with these, but you know, the jam, of course, anything sticky, I make a terrible mess. Most people do. We'll give these a wipe with the vinegar. The only thing you can't use the vinegar with is if you're canning milk products. I don't know how that would really make that much of a difference when it's on the rim and it's sealed, but some people say it does. Now, as most of you know, the plan was to have that kitchen cart to use, and it's so loaded with stuff that I can't use it for this, so I've got to carry these all over to the canner and put them in one at a time. So like I said, this is boiling. I'm gonna have to get the big tongs and get those. I don't know why they put those silly handles in there. Nobody ever uses them. I should just take them off, but they are in the way when you try and put the jars in, so I'm gonna get those standing up at least. I did get 8 jars in. Will I remember that? I don't think so. Anyway, this is only an inch from the top, so I'm going to take a couple of measuring cups of water out of here. That's way too much once it gets boiling again. But at least they fit. Okay, I think I have enough cranberries left to do 3 or 4 more jars. So I'm going to go out to the old sea container where the jars are kept in this raging storm to get 3 or 4 more jars. Get them washed in the oven sterilizing while these ones are waiting to boil. I have added some wood to the fire. It is roaring again. It was dying down. I wasn't keeping an eye on it, and preoccupied with other things like not having enough jars, not being able to count, and not being able to do math. This is starting to bubble, but we need to get to a full rolling boil first. Okay, we have a full rolling boil now, and I will set the timer at 20 minutes and process this for 20 minutes. Take the lid off and another 5 minutes. Okay, these ones are processed. Nothing leaking. You can see how hot they are. The cranberries are all burst, which is awesome. And it will continue to leak down in here and get redder. And then in a few weeks I will take the cranberries out, I think. I'm not sure. I am just quickly going to have something to eat, and then I'm going to get those other 3 or 4 jars ready to go in the canner, and that will give me a dozen jars, hopefully. Okay, my water is really boiling now, so I am going to get these other cranberries into the jars. Got my boiling water heated again, the lids are ready. I am going to let the jars cool a little bit this time though, because I just took them out of the oven. Okay, let's get the rest of this water in these jars. I haven't cracked any more jars, so that's always a good thing. Yeah, splash the water all over again. Oh well. At least I'm getting a dozen jars out of these cranberries. I thought I was going to get 9. Like I said, can't do math. Oops. It is so hot in here. I've got the bathroom window open still. Yikes. The one thing I like about these shipping container homes is it just feels so solid when you have a storm raging like this outside. Makes me feel safe and secure. Now let's just debubble these a bit. Those cranberries want to float right out of there. These ones had a tiny bit less in because I didn't have quite a cup and 3/4 for each one. See, that ends up being higher than an inch. I think I might take a little water out of that one. Just because the cranberries are floating, so I'll do that. I like these little tiny ladles because they can fit inside even the smallmouth jars. So, makes this really easy to adjust this. I'd rather have just a little over an inch than not enough. I've learned that lesson the hard way too. Get down there. That's still floating up high. I think a little out of that one. I think that should be good. Now some people add a little bit of orange zest or orange juice or concentrate to the cranberry juice. I think once I get this done, see what the taste is like, I might experiment a little bit too. Oh, I did it again. I forgot to wipe the rim with the vinegar. I think most people would just pretend that didn't happen. Like I said, I think that showing people your mistakes is a good thing, because we all make mistakes, and I make lots of them. I think I had 2 of those little magnetic things for the lids. Do you think I can find even one? I think I melted one. I can remember melting one, but I know I still have one somewhere. It'll turn out someday. Okay, center them on there. Finger tighten the lid, or the rim, sorry. My water's boiling over a little bit there on the, you can hear it sizzling on the wood stove. Okay, let's get these in the stove. This is really boiling now. Okay, now that has slowed the boil a bit. You can see the air coming out of the jars already. Get the lid on this and get it back to a rolling boil. Okay guys, I've got a rolling boil again. Set my timer here for 20 minutes and let that boil. Okay guys, I've got the last 4 jars out. You can see the difference already in the first batch. I did turn these upside down momentarily. The sugar is still in the bottom of the jar, but you can see how this is almost clear at the bottom. The cranberries are all floating. These are still extremely hot, of course. But I'm really pleased with this. So I have a dozen jars. I think I'd really like to do another dozen. I've got lots of these quart-sized jars. So I think I might do another dozen quarts of this, just to have it as a staple. Like I said, I don't buy store-bought juice, mostly because of what's in it. So, oh, I can hear that one popping already. This is probably the easiest thing I've ever canned. 2 ingredients, cranberries and sugar. Well, water, I guess 3. But like I said, I never ever buy store-bought juice anymore. It's something that, you know, now most people realize fruit juices are just loaded with sugar and other ingredients and dyes and everything else. So it's just something we never ever buy. I've seen documentaries about orange juice, and well, look it up yourself. It is just not good. But I'm really happy to have this done and have some of this in our grocery pile out there and our pantry. So, and it is handy to have on hand. It's good for your kidneys, everybody knows that, and urinary tract infections, that sort of thing. Really good, really healthy for you. Hope you enjoyed this video and hope you'll try it yourself. It's super, super easy and nice to have on hand. But we're done for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends. We'll see you next time.